Peace, y'all. Happy Wednesday. Ooh, the week is going by, huh? Happy Wednesday. Hopping on for a quick word. One of the things that, a question that I get often is, how do I know if I'm hearing the hearing the voice of spirit or hearing the voice of my ego in my head? Hey, y'all. Hey, happy new day. How do I know if I'm hearing the voice of spirit or I'm hearing the voice of ego in my head? In the Bible, there's a Hannah and there's a Samuel. Hannah is the mother of Samuel. Hannah in the Bible represents, metaphysically, mind you, in OU Ministries, I teach how to interpret the Bible metaphysically. Hey. So Hannah represents the soul consecrated, yearning for a connection and a merging with God, a soul that is very earnest about understanding God, having a relationship with God. This is the Hannah character. That's what it represents metaphysically. And Hannah is able to birth Samuel, which represents the inner merging with the voice of spirit. It's like you're able, in other words, when you look at the story of Hannah and Samuel, it's talking about how do you come in contact with this voice that then leads to divine inspiration. Peace. So I have a simple message today. Okay, stretch it out, brother. I have a simple message today. We're seeing a whole lot going on. I have a simple message today. Your understanding or get clear connection to that inner voice or spirit don't just come by default. It don't just come by default. There's a level of work, for the lack of a better word, in the moment that you have to do as a conscious being here in this physical experience to be able to be in connection with that voice of God, with spirit, and to be able to gain these divine inspirations. And so then it takes away from this idea, I have to discern whether it's ego or spirit. You want that to be gone, because even in that is ego. You want to be mindless. You want to be able to just trust that you are connected with spirit, that you're able to hear the voice of spirit, that you're being guided by spirit. You want to be able to trust that. Because if you spending all your time trying to figure out, is this spirit, is this ego, is this spirit, is this ego, that in itself will get in the way of you being clear. Because surrender is surrender. The thing about surrender is full surrender is what you want to do. Full surrender. And so in order to fully surrender, then there's a level of, it's like surrender is such a tiered thing. It's like in order for you to surrender with your life, surrender your life to your divine destiny or divine guidance or your righteousness. In order to surrender to that, meaning you not trying to control it, You're not stressed about it. You don't have all this angst about it. You don't feel like you got to do so much. All of these type of things. In order for you to do that, then you have to do a level of surrendering your whole mind, your whole soul to the understanding of God, to spiritual understanding, spiritual wisdom, spiritual knowledge. Got to surrender to that. That has to become, I won't say has to. I'm careful with the have to, has to, because we go too far. We go overboard. But that becomes a way for you to connect with spirit, for you to get in contact with it. Because if that's what your mind is on, and no matter what you're going through, okay, wait a minute, y'all. Do y'all have a red light or green light? What's going on here? Is this a funeral? What is going on? Why are y'all going? what is happening? Am I breaking a funeral? It's off the chain. ATL, what is happening? The sun is up and people are out. I'm blown. Okay, all right. Focus, Yenn. If you totally surrender your mind, your thoughts, even as you're going about your life, you may be dealing with challenges, you may be having to deal with situations, circumstances, whatever. But if your mind is predominantly on, okay, gaining spiritual understanding, knowledge, wisdom, peace, inner peace, all of these different type of things, if that's pretty much where your head stays, then all of those things that where your head is staying, it activates in your circumstances and situations, and now your circumstances and situation becomes these opportunities to grow in spiritual wisdom and understanding and knowledge and faith and all of these different type of things. So it's a switch of the mind from having your circumstances and situations at the front of your mind, and then, spiritual understanding, wisdom, and all of that at the back, to you're switching it. You have spiritual understanding, wisdom, faith, all of that type of stuff in the front of your mind. And so now you just become the observer. You're not absorbing, and you're growing naturally, even through your circumstances and situations. So now you're not afraid of them. You're not too much trying to control them like that. You value them, even when you feel a level of tension or contention or whatever. You still hold a level of value for everything you got going on in your life, which means that connects you directly to gratitude, which is the key to life anyway, and so you grow in that. But this is the process that has to take place. There my has to again. This is the process when this take place, when you have that switch, when the front of your mind is my growth in spiritual understanding, wisdom, knowledge, faith, divine will, all of that kind of stuff is in the front of your mind. Then you can now begin to hear the inner voice of spirit. But in short, my message is that connection with spirit, where you are confident that it's spirit. It's not even like you don't even need it's confidence, but it's like you're not even thinking about it like that. You just know that spirit, you are led by spirit in life. But that don't come by default. It just doesn't. If you're captured by life, if your mind is solely tied up in your circumstance, the earthbound circumstances and situations and all of that, then it's going to be difficult for you to connect with your inner guidance system, or that some call it, or spirit, or the voice of God, or your intuition, whatever we want to call it. It's going to be difficult. So I say, I'm trying to find a different word than like do the work. It comes to me, I say it kind of naturally, but I feel like we go overboard. I really do. Like, we got to do the work. It's got to do the work. It's really, you got to just surrender, which I know takes work. But that is it though. Like you just be intentional. Here is the thing. I won't say do the work, because it's like, what's the work? I'm doing the work. Be aware. Strive to be aware of yourself. Be earnest about your desire to understand the reality of life, the reality of God, the reality of your being, the reality of your being as a spiritual being. Be earnest in that. you know, take the efforts that you are led to take and just be obedient to that. Take no thought too much about it. Just be earnest in that. And then again, be aware. Stay in awareness. Don't just get caught up with life. Stay in awareness, and that earnesty will lead you and guide you to the right place. You will be led and guided to the way to surrender. Okay? For some, surrender looks like going in hermit mode. For some, surrender looks like really learning how to pray. You know, really learning how to pray and surrendering to prayer. For some, that's really learning how to meditate and surrendering to meditation. You know, and so forth and so long. I could go on and on. For many, and for me, it's all of that. You know, it's like surrendering to real deal. What is prayer? Surrendering to true. How do you truly affirm? You know, what does that look like? And meditation, study, devotion, you know, all of that is a part of my surrender. Take my mind away. You know what I mean? I do what's necessary to take my mind away. You know, my life is fruitful, it's diverse, it's abundant, and it has its ebbs and flows, as all life does. I experience polarities every day, all day. And so it could get easy to allow mine to be captured, you know, enraptured. And so I do everything that I can to take the mind away and put something on the mind, guide the mind, point the mind. That's my way of surrendering. But if you are earnest at heart, you will be guided to your path of surrender. And you have to take or you know, do your best to take that path, and that path will lead you to that place where you are connected in a way where you know, you trust, you become one with the reality that we are guided by spirit every single day. It's not the case that we done disconnected. That's a false way of, I understand why people say that, but we are never disconnected from God or from spirit, ever. Our inner guidance system is always trying to guide us. It's always trying to show us the way. It's always trying to you know, tell us something. We become distracted is a better way to say it. Not just disconnected. We are not disconnected. We are distracted. And so in order for you to come back to remembrance of your connection, then keep your mind stayed on God. That's how they say it. That's how they say it. Put your earnest desire to develop your spiritual wisdom, understanding, knowledge, surrender, faith, all of that at the front of your mind. Let everything else be, you know, let everything else be what it is. All right. Peace and love, y'all. I'm about to hit this gym. I'm motivating myself. I'm back with my trainer who has me on this blessed training plan. And today is my first day doing it in the gym. So I won't say I'm nervous, but I go to this new gym. Their equipment, their stuff is like, you know, it's not the greatest. But their amenities are amazing. So about to get this workout in. Pray for your sister. I got some toning goals that I'm on. Is this recorded to listen to this daily? It is, sister. It is. I'm going to put it on my page. Peace and love, y'all.